enemy in lane with basic attacks and her second skill. In the late game, use Hanabi's ultimate to engage and CC and unleash your barrage of basic attacks and kunai to provide excellent sustained DPS for your team. We recommend this attack speed focused build to complement her rework passive and first skill. Marksman Emblem further enhances her sustained DPS role, and Weakness Finder prevents her targets from escaping. Inspire is a natural choice to bolster both damage and survivability, thanks to her new shield.
Hanabi, the Scarlet Flower, revamp coming December 20th.
She'll be 30% off the first week, along with her Resplendent Iris skin. Give the new Hanabi a whirl and tell us what you think.
Until next time, we'll be seeing you in the Land of Dawn. Hanabi, the Scarlet Flower, revamp December 20th.
we are now back for more action on the Mobile Legends Bang Bang M4 World Championship. This time we will see the Valley from North America take on Todak of Malaysia. This early in the tournament, these two teams were ranked highly, but are now facing in the lower bracket. Only one will survive. Chiku guys can still go for any role, any hero, any lane. The unsuccessful misdirection cost them their series into putting them down to the lower bracket. Now they are tested again, one of the strongest teams in the West, the Valley. Basic got two Maniacs. One, which was supposed to be a savage, in one game as they bested the Cambodian representatives in their first match. The Valley are looking more like their prime, like last year, as they climb back up the road to the championship. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the analyst desk here again. I'm Naisu. Joined here with me is Trex, and of course, Wolf. I feel like there's a lot of heat on you right now.
Definitely. I really can feel that in the backstage, but you know, really looking forward to the matches that we are having right now. It's the Valley, dude.
Definitely the Valley. I'm questioning how these matches are going to go. Is it going to go the full way, like what we just saw, or is it going to be a clean sweep? I feel like it could from either team.
Yeah, I mean, you guys make good points, because the previous series was the first time we had 3 games, right? I mean, we were casting that Wolf. It was quite the intense matchup. But now for this matchup, Todak, it's again a Malaysian team versus the Valley. Early encounter on the underground. What does that mean to you, Wolf?
Yeah, well, it's actually very weird to see, because we know that Todak is an experienced team. Think about it. But maybe they are the ones who has the early encounter to the underground. Underground meaning that's the Valley. They are building it up. Unfortunately for Todak, it's not going to be easy. You know that the Valley has been really good so far, and for Todak, it has not been that good in the upper brackets.
Yeah, I mean, this has definitely been the best show that we've seen from the Valley yesterday. Even Basic, one of the players that a lot of people doubted, came online along with Moon, and I think a major part of that was not relying on him into that Eve role. He was able to pick up the Lilia, be aggressive in the early game, and bring them boys to the underground.
That's a good point, right? Because so far what we're seeing, at least even from earlier series today, so far in the knockout stages, drafts are crucial, obviously. I mean, a lot of people know that, how important that draft is. And I feel like at the same time, what we saw from the Valley earlier on was a little bit of a struggle, right? I mean, it looked like the synergy wasn't down, but yesterday was that refined version, I feel like, of the Valley, and that really stood out to me. And I mean, even taking a look at the talent prediction, let's see how the other talents around the world felt about it.
I mean, it's mostly to the hands of Todak so far. Yeah. We do have Pac and Juan. Juan?
Try your best.
Voting for the Valley, appreciate it. And then on the other side, now the Valley getting a couple more votes.
Yeah. This time it's almost even, and Butters actually just going for the Valley. That's actually surprising to me. Big shout outs to Butters from the PH stream. I'm not sure.
That's correct.
Exactly.
He's voting for the
No, of course. And that's not much of a surprise to me. I wonder why they don't show my predictions.
Yeah, who did you vote for?
I voted for Todak, by the way. So it's true. It's very true.
Okay, I mean, you're not public enemy number 1 here, right?
I hope so. I hope so. I love Bakuke, I love Nasilemak, I love Malaysia, bro.
Love Malaysia. Well, we're going to have to find out here, because we are going to be throwing over to the casters and really see how this pays out between these two powerhouse teams. Crucial matchup here. Boys, take it away.
East versus West, with the last bastion of their regions making their final stand. Welcome to Mobile at your service. My name is Leo, joined by LaFell and Chase, and we're bringing you this best of 3 in the lower bracket. Fighting for tournament life, it's the Valley versus Todak. Gentlemen, I know it's been a long day. We're going to start talking about the matchup, but first, let me remind the good folks at home of the M4 Battle Night. It goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in-game. First off, complete battle tasks in-game on January 21st to get that skin choice chest. You can choose the skin you like the most from the chest. Aside from that, you get that battle bonus awaits you on that same day. Play matches and you'll get the team star protection for 3 matches, double star raising points, double protection points, double EXP, and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. There's a free access for all heroes, and loads of epic skins will also be available for you that very day. Save the date! Log into the game on January 21st and enjoy the match and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 World Championships together, including all of our friends. So fell, one Malaysian team already fell.
Oh yeah.
What's it looking like for Kodak?
Okay, so here's the thing. If I could request the camera focus on me, have a zoom. Wolf, all friends. Our friendship depends on this game. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much, cameraman. I appreciate you.
Very strong words from our good friend Lavelle. Jays, your thoughts, because again, this is the final time we might see either of these teams.
Well, final thoughts as well, same as Lavelle. Basically, Wolf.
You're for Wolf!
Well, I mean, same thing as well. Like, SG and Malaysia, I think we have a personal.
We're pals. We're friends.
For now. For now. And we're kind of
Temporary alliance.
a temporary alliance. We're not happy with Wolf for now. How about that for you?
Is this the enemy of my enemy is my friend?
Exactly.
right.
We even said that. Wolf, let's move forward, man. I'm getting pumped. I'm getting angry. Let's go.
Locally, this is what they consider poon, right?
Yes.
I'm learning a lot.
Stay at the analyst base.
Oh, wow. Slowly but surely, this match is heating up, and it's going to get to a fever pitch later on, and we're expecting a long bout here. Let's welcome the teams and get familiar with their starting lineup. The main 5 coming in from both squads. The Valley, we can expect to see the same phases, but for Kodak, Lafel, how often do we see this formation?
Honestly, this is the formation that they have used during MPL Season 10, where in this lineup, Moon is actually not playing, so Corby's coming in, being the EXP, so Momo has to go back to the goal.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, we're going to look at the Valley as well. This is the best climb as well. Toda going in, training on the rotation a little bit, but the Valley, they're going to stick to their blazing guns.
It's what we expect, and they're getting better every time they go on stage. Here you see them getting hyped up. Coach Balut, you feel the energy, and they're walking in like they own the place, because by the end of this tournament, they might as well.
Hey, here's the thing. We got to put certain things in mind. Basic, 4 Maniacs, White Chicken, an absolute menace, and what was in moving everyone around the map.
Oh, you feel the energy, the confidence. Jays, they're looking better now.
They're looking better now, and ladies and gentlemen, extremely excited. Everyone is literally cheering the Valley to telling all the way from America.
I can't believe it took us for a while, that long, to say the Valley, dude, because Edison Darcinayan, make some noise for the boys from North America. On stage, give it up for the Valley!
I was kind of low-key expecting it too, especially after when you cheered up.
Always.
But of course, these are the best climb from the West. In my opinion, Moma Zane has outperformed himself, proving everybody wrong in the world stage in the previous M3. But at the same time, from the other M series, we also have Toda doing their own specific cheers in their player room.
Hey, here's the thing, man. You got to go inside the game with a positive mindset. You have to feel strong to be strong. You have to charge forward for you to get that victory. And that is why, Toda, this is their mentality. This is their Viking way. Toda, Langa.
Exactly, they need to Langa with everything. Point their swordfish, that pointy was needs to go in first, and they need to Langa hard.
And they have to Langa through possibly their hardest and most difficult opponent yet. They're fighting for tournament life, making their way on stage. Let's show some love for the only Malaysian squad left in M4. As they walk on stage, let's hear a good Langa for Toda!
Toda right now, 4 mains coming in with Toda flag. He is going to be something to go up against the Valley. Whether this choice hands out well or not, we will definitely see, because interesting thing, when Formace is in, when Chiku is in mid, this opens up the draft, because Chiku, he has an infinite way to play the mid.
No doubt, I'm with you there. Referee making sure that the coaches are also on the same page. Coach Balut for the Valley, Coach Azim and Coach Amux for Todak, which is something that we have to discuss, because I had a few words with Coach Balut over lunch today, and he said as soon as they went on stage for the knockouts, their draft is just so much clearer, so much cleaner.
Yes, exactly. The Valley has performed outstandingly, even in the lower brackets, actually keeping this particular slot. And I think the most important thing, this is do or die, like what Treks like to say. But on the other hand, Todak, on the other hand, you know, personally, as I watch MPL Malaysia, personally, it's super hard to analyze their game.
Well, here's a quick way to analyze their game. Look at the team head-to-head. Again, this is as an overall squad. The win rate for the Valley spiked up about 10% given their performance here in the knockout stage. But there is one thing they're lacking. Average kill, Todak, they like the blood.
Yeah, but again, looking at the numbers, 11.2 against 16.2, it's not that big of a difference. So yes, Todak likes to get a lot of kills, but look at this. Lord control rate for the Valley, 50%. For Todak, 21.1. When you look at the turtle control rate, 66.7 for Todak and 60 for the Valley. What does this show us? Turtle control for Todak, they do well in early as well as the mid stages of the game. But when we transition to the late, they're not doing so well. When you compare to the Valley, they have a very steady roll from 60% all the way to 50% for the Lord control rate. So they're very, very, I would say, controlled. They are, compared to Todak, by the time the late game, a lot of things happen and it's very weird.
And here's where you see the experience from MOBA Zane, the de facto leader of the Valley. Him going up against Rival, who was a rookie, who was the new addition to this M-Series all-timer squad. You can see the difference. Is that going to play a role here, Jace?
I think personally, you saw that. I think Todak cannot afford to go to the later part of the game where, you know, the stamina goes a little bit tiring, because don't forget, Todak's strength is chaos. The main goal is to make sure that you can't predict, you don't know what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm going to make you don't know what I'm doing.
There's some sense there. There's some logic there. And that's what put Todak here, right now, tonight in Jakarta, performing out of their minds for everyone out there, all the fans. Count me in. They won my heart. And let's see whose hearts they have on their side here tonight. Latam, there's an interesting spike there. I mean, West for West, right?
Excuse me, the Malaysian squad, who's that 12%?
Who
is that 12%? Tell me who's this 12. I need to know for scientific reasons.
On up now, Malaysians, but of course, going to the other page, I think it's almost an equal split all throughout the board. But thank you very much, Bermuda, for supporting the Malaysian team. I feel like this is also one of the matches that to look forward to, especially for M4 in the lower bracket, because like what you guys established, right? This is perhaps the hardest game for Todak. Same could be said over the side of the Valley. They need to gain a foothold early game to prevent Todak from snowballing in early game. Todak, on the other hand, chaos hopefully is their weapon, but sometimes it's also their bait.
Gotten word that the draft will begin very, very soon. LaFell, what are heroes to look out for? What can the Valley use to take advantage of that possible late game spike? Or what can Todak pick out in that first phase that can just suddenly lock him in for a quick snowball in?
For the Valley, I'm definitely looking at Lolita as well as the carry, because basically got two main accessories as well as Superstar. He seems like even if there's other options, he really would just rather get that Lolita just because the setup is so good, as well as it helps him get a lot of control in the early stage of the game, because Lolita is one of those heroes that is very, very reliable. So having a reliable hero going up against Todak is probably the best idea. And for Todak, I'm looking at Formace because he is sub in for a reason. I want to see the heroes that he's using because he's always performs the best when he has heroes like the Benetta as well as Zong.
And seeing Formace's energy, leading the pack, walking on stage, you know that he came to play. Here we go, mere seconds into the draft. Your teams are about to compete. There's no turning back. This is game one in a best of three. Once more for tournament life. Todak going up against the Valley. The former on the blue side on the play, with the Valley answering back. There goes the Glue, the Eve, the Lolita, as mentioned by you, LaFell, and the Valley banned out the Fanny and the 1-1.
Yeah, it's just kind of brainless kind of ban, right? It's not say brainless. I would say this is a no question asked. Just take away that Super Shark's leader, take away the Eve from the side of Moon as well, making sure the Valley is uncomfortable, and then drop an uncomfortable drop for themselves, and then be unpredictable, and let's just fight it down to the mechanics.
Right now, since Toda, they are the first pick, I want to see whether the Valley, they will ban out the Kajao, the carry, or let both through, because both those heroes are very good for both teams. So if Kaja is let through for Toda, then they could really set the pace of the match. If they have a carry, then it's just trap around the carry. Make sure that Momo, because again, we're expecting Momo to go to the gold lane to really set the tempo. So this is a very good spot for you to pick up the carry.
Yep, and if you do get the carry, I think the Valley, that answers one of their main fears last night in that post-match interview. Oh, they spoke about how scared they are of Hilda, and now they have to no longer worry about that. The counter to the Hilda, right? The peel, no longer there. First pick for Todak, the carry. The answer, though, the Joy, who no longer now has 100% appearance in M4. How are you feeling about this Joy first pick?
Personally, I feel like the Joy, especially after watching the previous series, I don't see the massive impact that Joy could actually output. Yes, she's super annoying. Yes, she could dish and dash around you. She's super hard to catch, but she doesn't really do any damage. Also, doesn't peel as well as at the same time. You can't really split push, you can't really jump from one point to the map to another, but also another big question is, Joy is flexible, and speaking about flexibility, the Valentina comes into play for the battle.
I agree with you saying how Joy is flexible, because a lot of people are still debating whether Joy should go to the jungle or the EXP, because with the Vengeance, Joy is actually quite a troublesome hero to deal with, because 57% win rate is not the worst win rate to have, but also not the best. But we're talking about Toda going up against the Valley, so having Joy is a very chaotic kind of hero, so I kind of feel like this kind of works out for them to go up against Toda, because Toda, at their best, they're very good at coordinating who should they shut down first. So having the Joy there, kind of like disrupting their tempo, might be good.
Yep, and going into the second phase, that's a lot of damage locked in by Todak already, the Lapu-Lapu and the Hayabusa. So it's clear what Todak's plan is, and there you go. I think with this pick, the Fredrin on the Valley, they might as well have said, you know what, this is a straight XP lane pick, Joy. Right?
Yep, agreed.
Yeah, I feel like the Fredrin definitely should go into the jungle. The amount of the taunt that you can do, especially when Hayabusa exits from the Shadow Kill, you can time it just right? You can catch Hayabusa off guard, and by the time the taunt finishes, your Shadow Kill has already, your Hot Shadows are already expired. You don't have a backdoor all the way out.
I'm really looking at what kind of hero can he use, because if he uses a hero that has a very big ult, it's gonna really detriment them, because the fact that the Valentina is there, it's very problematic. Hilda is quite good going up against the Valentina, but has been banned out, so really I'm looking at a hero. And here, Basic, his M4 stat, Basic's Bloodbath, the only player that got 2 Maniacs in M4 World Championship. But I gotta say, Chico had 1.
So that's big questions, right? I mean, yeah, that's half of what Basic has. 2 questions raised immediately, right? What's Yunski gonna play, and what's Basic gonna play? How is he going to get to that point where he's breaking his own record? Maybe possibly 3 Maniacs, or maybe even a Savage at M4. So now with that Claude ban, it looks like Coach Amux and Coach Azim know that they have to protect themselves from this prime level of Basic. There goes the Kadira. One more. It's going to be a gold lane ban.
I feel like it's definitely going to be a gold lane ban. Basic with super bloodthirsty, already 2 Maniacs. You don't want to give something that's meta, right? You want to cut down as many marksmen as possible, but no, instead, Todak focusing on the Mathilda ban.
This is kind of weird, because I was kind of expecting for like a Beatrix, because right now looking at Draft from the Valley, they have a lot of magic damage. So Harif is a good pick, but overloading with magic is kind of easy to itemize again. So I'm really looking at some kind of physical damage dealer from the gold lane. So I'm thinking of Beatrix, but it looks like perhaps they want the Beatrix to go through. Maybe it's kind of a bait by banning out the Matilda, because Matilda could be something good against Toda's draft, but I can't see it right now.
Yeah, the Matilda actually opens up and allows for the mobility on the Valley, and Todak doesn't want that. I think Todak just wants to take it to their face and make sure that when they make an engagement, it sticks. The swing back though on the first pick after the second phase began, the Kufra. So they're looking to stop this Hayabusa, looking to stop that Lapu Lapu, and then they're leaving basic open, so they're protecting their gold lane.
Yeah, so it's all about minimizing the amount of dashes that Todak can output right now. But with the Kufra going in, there is also the potential carry tank shredding the Kufra very quickly as he's in the air. So I think Todak, not only just the fact that, yes, I need to be careful and open up the map as much as possible, I need to pack some Purify in now. About opening up the map, I was thinking about, you know, something like a Toe, but no, it's going to be a Ruby, and the Pyramid is locked in for Todak.
With this kind of draft, Todak really wants to fight a lot, so they really want to be chaotic. They want to start everything early because this is going to be very interesting for Chico guys to be using the Pyramids because in their own MPL, Yumski is a crazy Pyramids because you always get those crazy engages, crazy catches. So now, having them both being an engaged type hero, I want to see how they can control, especially in the river as well as the jungle side of things because looking at the Valley, they're quite tanky, I would say, with Joy, with the Frederick, with the Kufra. So if they do want to establish an attack, I want to see whether they're really going to be hoping for Hayabusa to deal the most amount of damage or actually fight around the carry and give more space towards the carry.
I think apart from the carry conversation as well, I think the Valentina going in front side of the Valley, you've got big ultimates from Todak. Two, in fact, the Ruby and also the Pyramids. And these two, well, it all boils down to how Hoon actually pilots that Valentina. These game-changing ultimates could in fact benefit the Valley more than Todak.
Truth be told, going into this draft, I am worried for both teams because they have very small box control. When team fights happen, you have to find a better re-engage because look, your tanks, they come in and it's very honest. You have the jump from the Kufra, you have the pull from the Ruby, and then you both technically have a cult altar.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it really comes down to who finds you first and who has the better angle.
Looking at this game, I want to see the first 3 minutes. I kind of feel like that will dictate how everything is going to shape up. I want to see if Joy can actually control the EXP lane. We are expecting that Joy will go to the EXP. And Hayabusa, I gotta say, looking at Team Hot, it didn't look well. I hope I see a different Hayabusa here with Rival piloting the Hayabusa.
Here we go, game number 1 in a best of 3 is Todak versus the Valley.
Right off the bat right here, you can see both these two teams already clashing. It's going to be Mohamed Zain starting at the purple, Rival starting at the orange. I think the second thing that both these two teams will be looking at is goal to goal for that little Wanderer control.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are playing slightly slow here, so no invades going for either teams. So we got to look at right now in terms of the lane as well. It looks like there's no roadblock going on. The EXP laners are going to the EXP, the gold laners are going towards the goal. So both teams, I kind of feel like, because this is a best of 3, they want to see the kind of temperament that both sides have. Do they want to play a little bit more aggressive or do they want to be a little bit more passive?
Which explains how, again, both teams let go of the whole box concept or range when going into this first game. Now Rival just peeks.
Very sneaky. It's like, you know, a ghost in the room as well, just trying to peek what the Valley is doing for now.
Very good map control for Todak, and it's just now that the Valley had a little bit of control from the top, and I don't know if this surprised you, LaFell, the Joy is actually winning against the Lapu.
Semi not surprised because in the early stage of the game you do have to understand that the Lapu Lapu kind of needs his level 4. He's good at poking around with his passive, but the thing is because Joy is moving so much, it's hard for him to actually hit his first kill directly onto Joy. So I kind of feel like right now, White Chicken with a lot of mobility is really confusing for me.
Yep, look at this presence from Todak down in the bottom lane. They know how important basic is, and they know the mid-game spike that the Brody can get. And Charge!
Supercharge charging it up with the Hunting Ball as well. Rival will be able to just walk on away. Basic, you're engaged, it doesn't stick.
Yeah, because in that kind of situation, Rival could not know that it's right there because of the changes of how the push mechanic works with a lot of disengaged heroes. Formace is quite deep into the Valley's territory.
Oh, Supercharge charges, but he charges all the way as well. Yumski will be hooked. Hoon will be the one to get hooked, and Rival picks up the first blood for now. The fight ensues. Rival will be jumping all the way back. Mohamed Zain going in with the ultimate, but will not be able to connect. But now it's going to be Cult Archer activating, and Rival will be having the turtle control.
Todak, the Malaysians claiming this territory early on. Not much for White Chicken to do. He has spent his ult, so he unlocked it, giving Todak a clear and free turtle. in about 30 seconds after the turtle spawned.
Yeah, and that's because Formace was able to dictate the pace because he went into the Valley territory, actually forcing everyone to go towards him. Right now, Toda is in the third for the highest average total kills at 1.7 in M4, and it's not really that surprising because they're really focusing on this early and mid stage of the game. So the Valley, they're still in a good situation because the difference in gold is only 400. It really doesn't make that big of a difference.
Now, this is going into the 3-minute mark, right, LaFell? Looking at the state of the map right here, Todak has already picked up the first turtle and also a bit of a goal lead, but not too far.
With 200 on the map, the Valley knows that that was a hard first engage. This is where Todak is strong, and that turtle really just wasn't ours. So they're waiting for Basic to come online, for Basic to build a little bit more. Does the power spike? Target pulled!
Target pulled, the Super Shot will activate out the flicker to over the wall, but it's going to be not going to be able to stake the cult marker and prove it so difficult for Todak to handle.
So I hate to say it, but I think I was right when I said no box gaming for both teams, and Todak is just finding the better and earlier and more decisive engages.
Yeah, right now I'm looking at the laning stage as well. Momo is actually trying to put Basic at a deficit because Yumski as well as Rival, they are waiting here, but the Valley kind of seems like they know what's up.
Yeah, it feels like a party at the bottom lane. It's going to be Super Shark engages. Basic showing up like here comes the call on the side of Todak at the same time. Super Shark will be busting out, but will not be able to do anything for now. Both these two teams, they can't find a single kill.
Okay, with that kind of engage and disengage, we're looking for a potential clapback. The Valley's just not ready for it, not right now.
Oh, here we go, the shadow kill going in at the same time, but Super Shark will be there to bouncing, but Rival will be able to get out. Yumski going through the purple box, well, they're stalling the whole thingy, will be able to get all the way, but Hood terrifies him, and Yumski figures out the I'm a Venom will be in miss. White Chicken got a little bit more, but he'll be grabbed by two guys at the same time. Formace will be trying to put down some damage, but remember the Todak is running away. Chicken gets 1 HP, but will not be able to survive. White Chicken activate the vengeance, but will also fall as well. It's a trade.
Oh, another one falls. An expanded and extended team fight. All this while, the Valley was just using that to buy time. They get the second turtle.
Yeah, looking at this, it could be a game where we're looking at whoever pulls the trigger first, because the way that you got to go in and out of the team fights, you got to micromanage all of the timings, the ults, the spells, because looking at the itemization right now, Joy already has that Genius 1, so a prolonged team fight will be pretty good for the Valley because quite a lot of magic damage is on their side. Rival here, having the Hunter Strike is great, is good, but I don't think the Valley, anyone will be really alone, so he can't really maximize the power of the Hayabusa.
Yeah, even if White Chicken does go a little too deep, you can already see that White Chicken's building hybrid. And I guess this is the best kind of Joy we'll ever see in M4. At least that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree, right? Remember, we talked about Joy. We're not too sure where she should go. Even there's a lot of debates online. And I feel like White Chicken using this Joy to the best of what she can do, right? Pop the Vengeance, find a pick up at the back line, be super annoying, and then, cause some chaos at the chaos.
All right, so far, it looks like the Valley has found their aggressive streak.
White Chicken, though.
Given an 800, 1K gold lead here in the mid-game 6 minutes, I'm thinking possibly just one more turtle before I start seeing Lord. And all this time, what this is buying for the Valley is time and space for Basic.
Yeah, right now Basic is looking pretty good because we got to remember that the Brody is pretty strong in terms of burst damage and has been buffed up recently in the previous pack. So people are like, oh, maybe he's not that strong mid-game, late game. No, not really. Brody right now is actually a monster. So if he can wait out for Chiku guys to use his ult, then Basic will pop off in this game.
I feel like what the Valley is trying to do right here is, right, I don't think they're looking for the kills. They're just trying to scare off Todak, make sure they don't engage, use Brody, use Basic to basically push down the turrets very slow. Look at the bottom side. It's really hurting for the side of Todak, but Super Shark charges. Yumski tries to spin, Super Shark actually catches. Yumski all the way at the back line, but Chiku guys activate Tall Arthur, both sides activated Tall Arthur as well. It's going to be the battle of the sustain, and both sides, but Momo, he's actually free-hitting. Basic jumping, and Chiku guys drag 4-5 members, and it's a disaster. Overside from the Valley, and Rival is still alive as well, trying to up with some damage, but the sustainability coming up with the Valley is still there. But Rival, the assassin, oh my goodness, he's still going at it as well. White Chicken buying some time, but the damage is down. 3-man goes down for the Valley.
White Chicken still trying. It's Formace and Rival. 2v1. White Chicken still gets it, shutting down the rookie jungler. And all this time I was going to say, Formace fashionably late, but not enough time to kill White chicken.
Well, looks like the joy with the vengeance is the answer.
That's
But
right.
I gotta say, this is a good style for both teams because whether it's a good decision or not, if someone says goes in, everyone goes in, and that's what we see from Dota because it was quite an over-aggression because Momo, he flickered in trying to get those kills, but he put himself in a very, very tough spot where he received a lot of damage from the Valley. So I like this level of play. I like this level of trust, but they gotta make sure that the right calls are being made.
Yep, slowly we are seeing how that head-to-head draft came to be. We're seeing now how the Valley can come back, find these angles, and again, take control of the mid-game. There you go, that last turtle went over to the Valley. You see that Basic has built his Malefic Roar. So as soon as he gets like at least 2 stabs on somebody, someone's going down.
Yeah, I really don't think this is a really good fight from the side of Todak. They're just trying to put some pressure on the top side. Mobazane is already here. You know, just shoving them away. You need to protect Fried Chicken as much as possible. He's doing quite well as well. Try to put the attention more to the XP lane so that the Brody does have better farm, trying to push down these turrets.
Right now, it looks like Todak's idea is they're trying to get any kind of objective because that's the way that they can equalize the goal. Because if they try to fight, it's really not going to happen. So they're trying to stall it out, try to see whether they can actually get this top turret. If they can, they're kind of in trouble because this gives a lot of time for the Valley to set up something anywhere else.
Oh, Super Shark. It is going to be Rival, the first victim, trying to kill all the way in and giving away the turret in the mid lane. So much map control for the Valley now.
Oh no, they're gonna answer. They're gonna
Another one,
find
Yumski will there. The flicker will be committed at the same time. That is one flicker burn from the side of Todak.
Alright, so what we saw there was Todak setting up a huge top lane siege, but the Valley being maybe a step and a half ahead. They pushed mid, they caught Rival, and then a false engage onto Yumski, but they forced the flicker, so I'm guessing that's a big win for the Valley.
They had information because Mobazane was up there as well, so he assumed, okay, I just saw them top side. I don't see them again, so most probably they're going to stay there. We could set up something in mid. So that's what happened. They saw what was there, and they made a very good assumption that they're not going to move. So that's just calculated aggression.
Oh!
Is that a purple?
He did!
That's the purple bar stolen by Mobazane, and that's
purple!
the biggest problem. If you have your mid lane cracked open, but now the Lord has fallen. This is the first Lord. Don't forget, Todak doesn't really have a good Lord control.
Oh no, 2K ahead, and you can assume that a lot of that is on Basic, and a lot of that is on Fried Chicken, and he's rocking that mystery shop. So best believe he's making the most of that gold more than 4 mates. 10% is going to go a long way, especially for a team that likes that mid-game power spike 10 minutes in, and it's very difficult to find a way for Todak to get in there. We're looking at least all ults being online and looking for that engage. Who's going to get in first?
My goodness me, Mobazane already chunked down the Lord, already half HP, but look at Fried Chicken, look at him go. He's looking for the pickup right here, but he's going to get stunned right now, but Mobazane at the same time, Fried Chicken fought so much time for the Lord to be taken away by the Valley as the Valley collapse on top of Todak. 3 members have already gone down, 4 mates, and also fighting for dear life, but will not be able to survive. Rival, the only one left.
Super Shark, man, he set it up so well as well. Everyone is so clumped up together, there is no way this Hayabusa could work. So right now, but they're really losing up the engages on Super Shark. He's really shutting them down hard.
And now they're making their way into the base. That shield pops.
Chiku
guys forced you to come altar early.
Too early and too late at the same time. Yosuke will be checking it out. Look at the damage from Momo. Will not be able to connect. Basic, still all the way back. But Horn coming in. Wins the total of his own. And Rival gets knocked coming in at the same time. It is going to be Momo trying to almost damage in the next time. But will not be able to connect for now. Formings will be able to take down one something for now. As Horn will be taking down Chico. The stun going in. Formings, what are you going to do against Mobazane?
Show of sportsmanship between Zane and Formaze. I love how much this young man has grown from North America. We used to know him as these marksman junglers, as the assassin junglers, and now look him. He's playing veteran.
I mean, both of them know you're not going to die. I'm not going to die. Might as well show the world that we still love each other. So that was a very good defense. So the way that I'm seeing how it's going to be played out is you got to look at Hoon, which ult does he take, as well as you got to look at Yumski. In this, look at his replay, look at Yumski. He's the only one that could reliably stop Super Shark. He can buy 0.5 seconds for Toda. That is what Toda is, that 0.5 seconds. If he is nowhere near the engagement of Super Shark, the team fight is going over to the Valley.
And because of that swing, there is a huge gold lead now for the Valley, approaching 8,000 gold. And what does that look like in terms of items?
Looking at Brody right now, he only has 2 offensive items. The rest is defensive because he understands my role is actually to survive as long as I can. Right now, it's still playing.
Going in, Momo look Rona, Yumski will be trying to delay some time. What is well about Todak? But Yumski, he's taking a lot too much damage for the start of basic. Momo saying already looking for the Chico guys, kill at the same time. But look at White Chicken, he's in like so much time against Momo. Momo's will be trying to fighting out the call, also going in to try to kill activated by the Todak as well, but will not be able to buy enough time.
Peter Bryce, what do you have for breakfast? I want some. This Brody knows what he's doing. It's a throwback to M2 Carl Teasy, winning that world championship, building the marksman this way. They're going to clear this wave, and they're going to take their time. Discipline is the call here, 13 minutes in.
Right now, I kind of feel like if they really want to take a fight, they kind of got to take it in a very open space because close spaces is very good for a Kufra. So inside your base, around the river, not inside the jungle. If they do want to fight, don't fight the jungle. I know how strong Ruby is in the jungle as well, having AoE control. But at this point, you gotta respect Super Sharp. Pick your fights at the right location. With this current location, it's not good for Toda. So they gotta keep this in mind in their next fight.
And the same can be said about the Lapu-Lapu as well. If you're in those tight corners, those alleys, it's kind of hard for Formaze to predict where to land the bravest fighter and all the following skills. So that again allows White Chicken to just go rough shot straight into the back line. Now this Lord, it's as free as it gets. Alright, gratis as they say here in Indonesia, giving them what? A close to 10k goal lead.
Look at the state of devastation. There's nothing that Tonak could do. No contest, no nothing at all. Tonak would need to lie flat at their base and just basically watch the animation there. The Lord has been taken down, given over the side of the valley, and this could be the very last push.
This is one last option that they can have, and that is don't care about your friends. If your friends die, let them die. Just move around the map. You have a Hayabusa because look at how the Valley's playing. They play together. So if they're playing together, 1 or 2 lanes is going to be open. So try to attack those lanes.
Would you prefer that it be Rival or Formaze who does that? Because it's only one of them.
No, both. Do both. Just trust that Yumski, Chiku guys, and Momo can protect their own base.
Just Delta split.
Just Delta split. If you're going to lose anyways.
No, not like this.
Not like this, Falafel, not like this. The conceal play going in. The Lord is already rampaging all across the base, but now bottom side has already been destroyed by the side of the valley. It's up to Todak to try to defend. No one is coming to anything for now. It's going to be charging at the same time. Again, the defense coming up from Todak at the same time. White Chicken going on the back line. Momo will be able to do some damage. The Lord is still getting chomped out for the side of Todak. Nice defense, question mark, but that will be it. But Yumski, he goes in. The Toad also going to be activated. He's going to go fast battle in the bloodbath happening in the base of Todak as the valley will slowly make its way to the core. And they are not going to stop there. They are not going to go down without a fight as they will be chunking down on the core for the sweet victory.
The long run has been quelled for now. Game 1 goes over to the Valley.
Yeah, looking at that, I kind of feel like Toda, they gotta look at Super Shark and they gotta look at the job in terms of White Chicken's potential, because I've been talking about White Chicken as well, that it kind of looks like he doesn't care what kind of hero he gets. He will always make sure that he wins the lane. So maybe in the upcoming draft, you gotta really make sure whatever hero Formaze picks up, you gotta use a hero that he can for sure win the lane, win the game.
And so far, the laning phase lasted maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and that's what you said, LaFell, right? Let's watch the first 3 minutes, see what happens. And Todak showed signs of life, showed that, hey, in the early game, our advantage is real, but that window of time wherein they found these false engages in the bottom lane just gave too much time to basic. More on that later. Let me remind you folks at home first about the M4 pass. It's available now. Complete all active tasks and you will reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now to get exclusive rewards like the Beatrix Light Chaser and the Beatrix Stellar Brilliant Skins, and of course the M4 Beatrix figurine. They're all waiting for you in said pass. Use the hashtag Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to be Great when you're talking about it on social media. It's this figure right here, all right? So, with that being said, it's a 3-game series we're going to go ahead and throw it over to our analysts to break down this game. Fellas, what did you see? Talk to us, all right? It's going to be Trex, Naisu, and Wolf. I'm sure you have words for Wolf. Hey, put it down, put it down, put it down. Boys.
It's the Valley, dude. They take game number 1 here, and Trex, how you feeling, man?
Yes.
Wolf.
I'm scared for my life, number 1. But kidding aside, that was an amazing match. I think that there was so much hype in the crowd that they got really, everybody get riled up because of how great the team fights were. Unfortunately, it was at the expense of Todak.
Well, it's still a best of 3, right? And I gotta say, even with the game highlight, the rookie XP laner outplaying Todak here, the Valley securing game 1, and we debated about that Joy pick. I asked you earlier, where do you think it works best? Is that proof right there?
Definitely proof. I think that this is the reason why you pick up the Joy. Lato sustained a lot of map presence. You saw how much space he was able to make for his team, and he never really loses a matchup. Because when you saw the XP lane was heavily sided on White Chicken.
Well, you've seen the Valley, their journey, right? Is this a different White Chicken? We've seen him making quite a few plays so far up to this point.
Quick statement. I know everyone feels that Fly Chicken is a gold laner because of M3, but the reality is, for years, he has been an EXP laner, and it's something I've been talking about for a while. Just wait till he brings the EXP lane here, and we're seeing it from yesterday with the Esmeralda to today with the Joy. He's got a lot of pocket picks.
Well, taking a look at the items here for this game number 1, 7 to 19 here was just under 16 minutes. And I gotta say, if you look across the board for the Valley, specifically Trex, all of them played their part, but specifically even Super Shark, right? Let's talk about Super Shark in this Kufra pick.
I think it was clutch, and I think this is what we've wanted to see with Super Shark. Also, picking up that immortality towards more of the late game gives him even more courage to dive in, right? And you're scared of that carry. You're scared a little bit of getting shredded down, and that was his answer.
Yeah, so many stellar praise coming from the Valley, but I do want to add more points to how clutch Super Shark was during this game, because Todak really got the early stages going on. And Chico guys are winning the fights, they're getting the turtle. There was one time they went to invade the purple buff of MOBA Zane, but that was when Super Shark was very clutch. He landed the stun from the lizard bush into the purple buff bush and was able to punish Chico rival because of that. And that was the start of the momentum of the Valley. They're finding big openings against the core members of Todak.
And not only that too, but a lot of this started with MOBA Zane. He's picking up this Fredrin quite often. It's either, let's say, the Fredrin, the Barretts, those utility junglers, and he secures those objectives, especially the turtles early on, and it helps snowball the Valley here. Trex, that's a huge component to their success.
Another huge component is look at the team fight participation. Everyone is working equally, and this was another thing that they had trouble with: synergy, shot calling, these types of things. And right now, they're working at their prime as a unit.
Yeah, and just the opposite can be said about Team Todak. Their side laners, 4 mains as well as Momo, they're not activated as much. For looking at the Valley, they activated everyone. For Todak, they had to wait for their timings. Unfortunately, the timing didn't come because of the stumble that they had when they tried to invade MOBA Zane's purple buff.
And I gotta ask you, we've seen the Faramis pop up a lot of times. Do you think this was a weak link to the composition for Todak here? Was it really a good choice to run with this Faramis pick?
Well, if you think about the Faramis, like a few patches ago, you would argue that it's a very strong hero when it comes to team fighting in the early stages. For now, that isn't the case anymore. There is no shred coming out from Team Todak. They have Lapu-Lapu as well as the carry. They need to farm. And even the Hayabusa needs a lot of farm before it's activated. So to answer your question, yes, I think the Faramis choice was more of a weak link than it is a strong one.
Especially after the Valentina, right?
Exactly,
if they would picked it earlier, banned out the Valentina, yes, it could have been clean, but hold up, the MVP, Super Shark, 84% KP, a beautiful item build, and didn't even have to max out. They cleaned up the game very quickly, and I think just 2-1 of 14.
Again, I think Kufra, especially with the changes with not being able to hear him in the bush charge up, right? so far what we've seen, I mean, we saw this from Morrow, I believe, yesterday too, and just making massive plays. So I feel like more so as we get further into the knockout stages, Kufra specifically is going to be a highly contested hero here, especially with games like this.
And Super Shark is known for wonderful plays with setup kind of tanks as roamer for setup of the Valley, and if they keep on doing this, if they keep on finding good initiation type of tanks for Super Shark, I think the Valley is going to go all the way if they find this kind of comfort.
Yeah, I mean, he went from missing almost every single Moon on Blast in the group stage to landing a whole lot of Tyrant's Rage, so definitely stepping up his game here.
It's kind of like they practiced their mind out in the days that they were preparing for
their
this.
minds out.
But, you know, again, jokes aside here, specifically, again, you can look down the line for the Valley specifically, everybody pulling their weight here, and having this momentum from this game, starting off the right foot, is going to be massive for them. And still, speaking about Super Shark here specifically, the heat map, right? I mean, Wolf, what stands out to you the most here?
Yeah, that is the gold vein focus coming out from Super Shark, then eventually went back to the purple buff. So if you're going to see the heat map reset, you're going to see the pattern of where he went. So going for the mid lane and then gold lane, going back to the purple buff. That is when they found the big opening against a rival. Then eventually back to the gold lane once again. You know the focus of Super Shark. They want to activate the Brody as early as possible, as you also want to activate the Frederick. So everybody's just working together. This early game composition coming up from the Valley really turned out to be well for their team.
You know, there's one other thing to notice. In that first 5 minutes, he did not go towards a turtle, and that was when it was almost a little shaky. That first turtle fight, he uses the Tyrant's Rage and goes away from the turtle. And it just, at that I'm like, oh, this could be bad. But in the end, the focus toward the gold lane is definitely something that helped carry them.
There were so many highlight moments, like in the mid game, where we saw, in the mid lane, I mean, where he was able to find big openings, and even better as the game progressed. It was wonderful to watch.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to find out more because we're getting ready for the next game here. Lafel, Leo, Jays, take it away. Have fun with this one.
Joseph, because you asked so nicely, we will. At your service, my name is Leo, this is LaFell, and that's Jays, and we're back, setting up for game number 2. It's match point for the Valley, do or die for the last Malaysian squad left. Reminding everyone at home about the M4 pass, it's available now. Complete all active tasks and you will reach level 75 at ease and for free. Log in now and get exclusive rewards such as the Beatrix Light Chaser and Stellar Brilliance skins and the M4 Beatrix figurine. They're all inside the pass waiting for you. Use the hashtags Mobile Legends Bang Bang, hashtag MLBBM4, and hashtag Dare to Be Great. The Battle Night for M4 also goes live this January 21st. Expect loads of events and rewards up for grabs in-game. First off, complete those battle tasks in the game on January 21st, and you get a skin choice chest. You can choose a skin you like the most from the chest, and aside from that, the battle bonus awaits you on the same day. Play matches and you'll get team star protection points for 3 matches, double star racing points, double protection points, and double EXP and double BP for 5 matches. We're not stopping there. Free access to all heroes and loads of epic skins will also be available that very day. Save the date. Log into the game on January 21st, enjoy the match, and win tons of rewards. Let's all celebrate the M4 World Championships together. Bring your friends, and these are my friends.
That was impressive.
Yeah, man.
Good job.
The fact that you could just one breath everything of all the rewards that we're throwing.
I tried to distract you. That was good.
Well, thanks.
The amount of focus is definitely there, but I feel like...
Are you like the best anchor in all of Mobile Legends Bang Bang?
Let's talk about Todak in the Valley.
Correct. So let's focus on Todak, because I think Todak being the only Malaysian team left in M4, personally, I can relate because Singapore left.
Terempun.
So we are forced to be stuck together now.
So talking about that, right? Because looking back at what the analysts said, because they were even asking, like, for the pyramids, is that really the weak link? And the thing is, it is weak link because of the Valentina. And I even talked about it. Okay, the moment the Valentina has been picked up, what hero is UMC's gonna play? And I kind of feel like I wanted to default it to every single thing, because stealing a crazy ult like the Kill Altar is actually quite crazy, because look at this, two guys dealt a lot of damage, and I kind of feel like it makes sense because he has a lot of AoE, but that really should not be the case, because looking at the damage from Momo 33, Rival 27, it's really not great, because if you put into consideration, looking at from the side of the Valley, everyone is pretty much like in sync in terms of the damage. No one is like too far ahead or anything. Like, it's quite balanced. looking at mid lane, close damage. But before we talk further, I want to say Todak got a little bit greedy with their spells because there was absolutely no purifies.
And that's what we were talking about, right? It's so simple for you to have thought about that. But again, a lot on the minds of Coach Azim, Coach Amooks, the players as well. So we can't put it all on them. And they know the pressure. They understand that they're one game away from getting eliminated from M4. Now, that begs the question. Are they of different minds? Because now that we're talking about it, it looked like the Todak's draft. It looked like they were having both desserts and their first meal of the day, because some are lined up for late game and some are like, no, we're gonna win early game. The pacing was off. That's for me.
You can't tell me that I can't have ice cream as appetizer, and you can't tell me that I have salad as desserts.
Well, don't cry to me when you have a tummy ache, Jace.
Well, I always have a tummy ache. So
Well, I don't cry. I'm a man.
I will stand my ground and accept that pain. But speaking about pain, we'll be going to the draw very soon, right?
Yeah. Game 2 is almost upon us. Mere moments from the point of no return. Again, once these decisions have been made, which heroes to ban, which heroes to pick, it all comes down to this. And again, you can't go into war without being armed well. Let's go into game 2 with the draft, Todak versus the Valley. And it's now the Valley's turn to be on the play. Todak answering back. There goes the Fanny and the Kaja, while Todak takes out the Eve. So again, I'm not sure where the Farsa was in game 1. Both teams just decided, yeah, no, we're not going to play with a box.
Yeah, so looking at Todak's first draft, it's really all about like trying to work together, trying to set a lot of team fights, but the Valentina as well as Fredrin really kind of denies them of that. So I kind of feel like whatever their first 3 pick is, it's semi-flexible so that your next second 2 picks could potentially answer the problems coming in from the Valley, because they picked up the carry first. That's your main win condition, and I kind of feel like they just drafted around the carry, which is correct, but they weren't able to execute it well.
Oh, you can see how the Valley's baiting it right now. The question is, do you ban the Joy or do you ban the carry? Because first pick is definitely going to go into the Valley.
And that's not even thinking about the Valentina, right? In the hands of Hoon earlier. Now a lot on the mind of the young rookie from Todak. Because earlier, I bet he felt the pressure again as a high and dry Hayabusa. If you have a game like that, and then you immediately have to go into game 2, fighting for tournament life. Can you imagine?
I kind of feel like what we have seen the entire day is a lot of teams, they will fight for neutral objectives together. So having someone like a Hayabusa is very tricky. Either you really show your presence in the lane or not. And it looks like Todak, they opted to ban out the carry and the first big Joy for the Valley. And here's the thing, if it ain't broke, why fix it?
I feel like right now, the fact that Todak gave the Joy over, I think Todak needs to find an answer with the first 2 picks. I'm probably dreaming, I'm probably throwing everything outside there, because Todak definitely needs to throw every single item away towards the Valley. I think they need to look at the phones.
Yeah, no, and when they were considering everything, the Joy just came through, right?
Okay.
9 times picked, 55.56% win rate, and again, 46 times banned in 57 games. So 46 plus 9, do the math. That's a huge amount of Joys that have been seen in M4. So far, the answer by Todak. Oh, the Valley talked about this last night. There's the Hilda.
You're a huge amount of Joy. But yes, the Hilda is here. But the thing is, if MOBA Zane is going for like a Fredrin, the Barats, and all those kind of heroes, it really doesn't matter that much, because the Hilda is really used to fight against heroes that are early game weak towards aggression. Fredrin and Barats, they're not really that weak, and they kind of got it doubled down, because Hilda as well as Valentina is okay in mid, it's okay in pressuring the jungle, but they need at least one other hero to be able to answer that. And the Valley, they could honestly answer this pretty easily with a Lilia. Just clear the lane and then fight back. So I don't think this starting part of Todak is that flexible for me.
Yeah, and I want to double down on the Lilia, because you have the Lolita on your side, but again, it's Todak who's going to be getting the first pick on a swing back, now going into the second phase. There goes the Ling. So far, 1 ult, alright? Chico guys can get his hands on 1 solid ult, and that's the Numenon Blast.
I mean, he can only take one ult, so I don't see the problem here.
One good ult.
Yeah, one good ult, yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you see, I've seen some weird strategies coming out from my region is that if you see a Valentina on the other side, you kind of want to confuse the Valentina which ult to take, right? So right now, I feel like Super Shark's Lolita Luminum Blast, that ult is too juicy for the side of Todak. So, but this is the comfort hero of the Valley. So what I feel like what the Valley could do is to try to use as a secondary engage to force Chiku to use the Luminum Blast early. So it's going to be like a Mexican stand-down, right? Like, who's going to use the Luminum Blast first will lose.
A Malaysian standoff.
I want to see if Dota actually bans out the Akai, because I kind of feel like, actually no, letting Akai go would be pretty good, because having an option between Derek and Lance, okay, never mind, I know that they would ban out the Akai. Like, I know that, but I'm trying to think like, actually it wouldn't be that bad, but you know what, better be safe, because this could potentially be the last game, so yeah, ban out the Akai. Good respect for Mobazane as well.
Yep, a lot on the board left though for Mobazane. Again, heroes like Martis, Leomord performed very well for Incendio Supremacy earlier tonight.
Yep.
Please don't remind me.
Sorry.
There you go. But let me just run you down the reason why Leomord looks really good, right? If you want to drop a Leomord into your drop, you need someone to basically do the first initial damage, right? Like big mega burst, like the likes of the Farsa with the Feather Airstrike. The Eve could also help with the slow DOT, and then you allow the Leomord to just ride in, just sweep everybody up. But from the side of the Valley, currently, I don't see like that big mega burst.
Not yet.
Not yet, but don't expect the Leomord for now.
Alright, so given that Formaze still doesn't have a hero, but again that Hilda could switch up, Todak picks up the Lunox, and I think this is their way of just covering up the fact that they see, alright, Mobazane, eyes on you, you might pick up a tank jungler here.
I feel like a Farsa may come out from the side of the Valley because, you know, the Yuzhong has been getting banned away as well. I feel like that's something that you will pull out if there's no big black dragon coming to threaten the Feather Airstrike. So I'm thinking the Valley is leaning towards there now.
Okay, so here's the thing. They pick up a Lunox, sure. Strong hero, great, love it. But again, focus on Super Shark. Try to time when you go in, when Super Shark's shield is down, because he could potentially result your damage to absolutely nothing. And look at the draft from Hilda. They want to skill for a little bit. So it looks like here, Mobazane is going for the Barats with a 100% win rate, and Hoon is picking up the Fairmist. So this is almost like what Dota wanted to do, except the junglers' way of playing is a little bit different. They still want to clump up. They still want to protect their main damage dealers. But in this kind of situation, Dota, they got to make sure that they time it right, because they could get punished very, very heavily. What? And an Esmeralda!
I mean, that's the shields on the Joy that they're eating up. So I guess Formaze now wants a better matchup against White Chicken. So, you know, healing old wounds immediately from game 1 to game 2. Now with that being said, Lunox going into the Barats, Lunox going into the Lolita. I actually want the Farsa. I'm once been twice shy with this Faramir.
Yeah. I feel like looking at what the final pick from the side of Todak, Esmeralda feels like that last resort coming out from Todak, and I really hope it's not the last resort.
I kind of feel like the way that the idea is that Esmeralda, except for her ult, isn't really reliant on getting all those crazy skill shots. So it's much more reliable going up against the Joy. And White Chicken himself has proved that the Esmeralda is actually really good, as long as you're not fighting against an EXP laner that kind of chunks you down so hard in the early stages of the match. So this could be a fine matchup in the EXP.
And I'm hoping it is, because this could possibly be the last game in this best of 3. Match point for the North American representatives. This is the Valley versus Todak. Looking at the early rotations, it's a mirror start, orange to orange.
Yeah, lots of things on the line right here for our Malaysian fans. Almost from the side of the North American region. They're holding their heads up high. Mayumski is here to wreak some havoc.
Looks like he's not really going to get much, because Mobazane did see him coming through, use the Retribution on time, and I don't think in this early stage it really matters that much, because what Toda wants to do for this time in particular is not really to punish heavily inside the jungle. It's more about delaying the fights, because you have a lot of members that really want to scale up. Honestly, even the Esmeralda. So I kind of feel like what Yumski is doing is just to let everyone know, okay, you see Momoze, he's here. You see Super Shark, is here. You guys are not going to get surprised, so just make sure you guys farm out safely.
Yeah, one small issue I do have looking at Todak's lineup is expect to see a lot of Radiant armor, expect to see a lot of tough boots, because their only real main source of reliable physical damage is Rival.
Yeah, but also another thing that we kind of forgot is that Esmeralda might do very well against Joy, because every time the dash applies and when she's using the skill, those provide shields which Formace could actually use.
Exactly. And now Yumski, a little bit overloaded. He's trying to stop a little bit too much across the map, and this allows Rival though to cross over. Look, he's taking a small camp.
Well, right now, looking at his emblem choice, he really does have to farm out a little bit fast. So in this game, Toda's not going to do anything until like 6 minutes of the match. Once they got 2 items, then they can go in.
Oh, White Chicken going in already. It doesn't really have the ultimate as well. Now he actually has the ultimate. He's looking for some form of fight, but just waiting for the dash cooldown. But looking at Formace, he knows exactly where White Chicken is going. Momoze still working on the turtle for now. Formace, okay, the dash committed. Yumski, look at how the members of Todak split apart, just providing so much vision all across the map. The valley feels exposed. They give up the turtle for now.
Right now, look at Ling, look at Rival. He understands, like, it's really going to waste a lot of time trying to farm, but Super Shark smells it out and stopping Rival from getting the farm. And this is what Toda has to do, and the Valley, it looks like they completely understand what Toda wants to do. So, no surprises for anyone. Yumski, did he actually get it? No, he did not.
I don't think so. That's Yumski. I think that's the ultimate being used, just to make sure that he tried to create some havoc. But because of Yumski being so annoying in the enemy jungle, the Valley, I think they've got their hands full, right? They cannot hard invade this lane, allowing Rival to just scale and hopefully get the items required to go into the turtle fights.
This is quite uncharacteristic. Compared to game number 1, we're 3 minutes in, not even a first blood, and of course Rival here bought enough time for the rest of the map to go into a stalemate and get that first turtle. Yumski catches Hoon. Oh, he's trapped into 3 members.
Oh, that's the Bermuda triangle from the side of the NA region is going to be... Oh, Yumski gets swallowed out right into the wall, giving the kill over to Basic. What a play. It's basically Momoze giving free food for Basic to scale.
Right now, look at the goal, because yes, a first blood was given over. But if you're a late game scaling composition, if you're not losing more than 2,000 gold, then you're still semi-winning. As long as you don't let the gold disparity to go to 3,000, 4,000, Toda still has a chance. But like you said, Leo, it's very easy to itemize against this kind of play. And Super Shy is going for Chicken Guys.
Luminous charge has already got out. It's going to be Yumski that canceling the passion. Coming out from Basic. Will be allowed to trend. Giving Momoze the kill as well. Chicken Guys will spawn with the Luminous blast at the same time. It's going to be Rival jumping all the way in. But Momo is coming over the chunk. But the co-author is denying Momo that kill. Momoze walks away alive.
I guess that's how this Theramis is working. Way to go, Hoon, proving me wrong. It wasn't really used for more DPS because their DPS is in the form of the peel. Off of Mobazane, off of Super Shark, and we haven't really seen much of White Chicken. LaFell, you've been watching the minimap. What's happening up top?
Actually, quite interesting enough here. Looking at the way Esmeralda or Formace is setting up his own emblem set, movement speed is very normal, but he's actually putting a lot of healing for himself. So he's really trying to make sure that the early stage of the game, he's not going to get punished a lot. So that's why we can see that both EXP laners, they're just cutting a lot, but not really moving all across the map because they understand we just want to farm.
Yep, and we're still waiting for that rubber band. Again, the fact that Todak is playing a late game lineup against the Valley, who wants to go early on. We're looking for a mid-game power spike here. I guess that's what Yumski's working up towards. 2 deaths, that really doesn't mean much for this Malaysian Hilda. Now, second turtle already spawned up. Wow!
Wow, the
quick
start!
start!
Flicker, Yumski gets caught out. He's going to be Hoon zoning it all away. Rabbit is already there. But Momoze will still secure the turtle for now at the same time. Momoze just, I don't know what he's doing. He's basically showing who's boss.
And he is. This Barat is just standing there. He's rocking that Demon Slayer emblem, and it's working wonders.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You got to look at the base stats, and Barat's base stats is very, very strong, especially if he can get those stacks. Looking at his size, he probably has 16, 17 stacks right now. And in terms of items, Cursed Helmet is just really for the extra HP and extra damage.
Oh, look at how the Valley's actually cutting out, just sandwiching, making sure that Yumski, Todak is not very comfortable to be underneath their own turret. That's a lot of damage coming out from basic. Yumski walks away alive for now.
Oh, Rival and Formaze, though, making the most of the Valley's absence. They are going to get the push.
Yeah, they're going to get the push and they're going to go run away. I know the mission. I'm not here to kill. I'm here to take down objectives.
Well, that is what I talked about in Game 1. Don't care about your friends. Fight.
Oh, luminous blast going on. Chico guys will be dragged all the way by Hun. Basic coming out, shredding Chico guys all the way to the ground at the same time. Fight Chico, look at him. He's all the way in the back line. Momo can't do anything at all. The message going in and Hun will try, but Momo flickers back to safety. 3 members from the side of Todak has already fallen.
The Valley just pushing that kill switch. Formaze, there's 4 members there.
Don't think that Formaze can do anything there. The Valley shreds the Esmeralda.
Right now, Todak, they gotta slow down because they're already giving up 1.6k, 1.5k. They've been losing on a lot whenever they're going for the team fights. They gotta calm down. They gotta understand. They gotta split the map. They gotta open the map up. Do what they did just now in mid. Separate everyone. Don't let the Valley fight.
And so far, the way that Todak is responding to the Valley's aggression is just quelled by MOBA Zane, who was, again, I mentioned earlier, grown so much since the last time we saw him on the world stage. He's currently #1 as a tank jungler at M4. He's taking about an average of 7,394 damage per minute in the world stage alone. So that's what's standing in the way of Rival.
Man, he's gonna have a lot of problems. Yes, that is the turtle taken by Todak. That's just more like some form of, you know, consolation, trying to equalize the score. Look at how the Valley is playing right now. They're trying to use basic as a sniper to snipe down this turret. This turret will definitely fall in the hands of the Valley for now. But looking at Shimsky, opening it up. Looking for the play right there. Both these two teams, they don't really want to commit.
A lot of this is free currently for the Valley. They are ahead. They're able to check bushes so much easier. And so far, what's it looking like? Again, LaFell, you mentioned, if they're at least 2k-ish ahead, they're semi-okay.
Yeah, right now they're still semi-okay because Rival has the items, but will he die here? No, he should be able to leave. Looking at the itemization from Joy, it's already looking like quite a nuisance. Just one, and right now Momo has to run away.
Yeah, Momo will be able to run away. Basically, the random shot doesn't really be able to connect. Todak really looking for some pickups right here, but I don't think they can find any pickups. Todak is defaulting to just pushing down turrets left, right, center.
All right, good news, bad news. For Todak, the fact that the Valley isn't as aggressive anymore is a good thing, but bad news!
Caught in a very bad place, and that is the base of the enemy, but he's able to walk away like a boss, but Fire Chicken, even with the dashes, will not be able to connect and chase Todak down.
Again, move around the map, avoid the fights. Fights are for nerds, all right? Just look for objectives. Understand your win condition because look at this, the way that they're moving around the map. Right now the goal is 600 from 1.6, so 1,000 gold lead, well not lead, but they got to recover back based on that. And wait for the items and fight. Don't fight yet.
LaFell,
don't be a nerd.
It's crazy how Todak's handling this, right? 0 kills on the board, equalizing in terms of the goal, but they're trying to pick up a lot of fight on the enemy side of the map because, you know, Formaze on the Esmeralda has been cutting the way, putting a lot of pressure. The Valley can't even look at by. Oh no! He got stunned now. The Brilliance will not be able to pop, and the Valley cracks open the mid lane.
And now this makes this Lord all the more juicy, all the more safer. Look at Yumski, the position. He's going to do barely bother Basic and the rest of the gang. Look at how much Hoon is doing to look for a pull. Not exactly going to work out.
No, Chico guys.
Oh, 1v1.
Oh, it doesn't look very good for Chico guys coming on blast. Oh, what the round play. Come on for Chico guys. If they can all cross the wall, but unfortunately that's not enough. The fight is choose as the Valley. They're trying to talk down the Lord, but will be distracted by Todak. 2 members already go down. The Lord resets.
I'm just as confused. What's going on?
So I think what really happened was that the Valley, they were really focused on the Lord. The Lord chunked them down quite a bit. So what really happened is that Yumski just goes in, adds some stacks to his ult, and then just slams down onto Basic. He died because he took a little bit too much damage from the Lord.
Stay down, Peter. Stay down. But with that being said, 10 minutes in, I'm guessing maybe this is where we start seeing Todak pick up on their stride, because all this chaos across the map, this is where Yumski just relishes. This is where Rival wants to find those amazing catches. And now the angle. Lord, at less than half health. Look at this push. It's so juicy.
It's so juicy, but speaking about juicy, Basic picks up Yumski. It is going to be Todak, unable to buy some time, but the Lord resets once again. The conceal play going in, just wave clearing. The Valley playing this macro game. And the play of Tom and Jerry. It's a bite. Chico guys will fall in the hands of Hoon.
This is the American Ube. They're not letting go. They know that they control the river. They know that they have priority over everything that they set their eyes on. And even Formace is going to get it. And down bottom, I think Rival can force this, but oh no, he's in trouble.
He will be able to walk away. Rival does have the retribution, but will not be able to commit because Super Shark can land on the stun very easily.
This is free. LaFell, what's the response from Todak?
Right now, I'm just flabbergasted with the damage, but once he gets down, Yumski secures the kill. Okay, here's the thing, right? Is it really just basic? Because the amount of damage going over to Todak is a little bit too much. He has 2 penetration items with the Hunt Strike as well as the Malefic Roar. Looking at Todak, they kind of have a lot of armor, so I kind of understand why the damage is so big. So they gotta really respect Basic's damage because Yumski tried, Formace tried, they cannot tank. And Rival
you see that? You see that?
That's really unfortunate.
What was they didn't?
He didn't. What was they didn't? We did. But again, this allows Todak to find these angles to make the most of the time they have. Good news, bad news, good news. This is just a level 1 Lord. And I think they are going to go ahead and defend clearly. Bad news is Basic is just feeling it. Basic just found his stride. Basic is going to use every little bit of space that Hoon and Shark buy for him. And best believe, soon enough, these inhibitors are going to be in trouble.
This game of Tom and Jerry, just Todak just running away as you come in, trying to stomp down on this cockroaches there, will not refuse to die. It's going to be Formace charging out. Basic is still in the way, but look at the base of the Valley. It's going to be the link all the way in the backside, and now it's Todak desperately trying to stall time. Basic picks up Chico guys at the same time for now, but it's going to be Rival cracking down the bottom lane.
Come on, Observer, please.
Look at the base. It's going to be Rival. The backdoor unsuccessful.
And the clapback is going to be all the worse because there's 3 members of the Valley knocking in Todak's door. And there's only 2 defenders.
There's only 2 defenders left, but what can Rival and Yumski do? It's going to be a super thick stack on the side of the Valley. There's everybody on this car, and they're looking to end it. 7 seconds. They just need to buy him one more time. Rival goes in the temple to play at the same time, but will not be able to do anything to stall it down.
No waves. So LaFell, can they still do this?
They can still do this because, again, Chico guys as well as Momo has recovered. If only they were able to survive, it would have done well. So now, Todak, they gotta look at how the Valley is actually approaching the fight. You gotta find a way to not get caught, because if you don't get caught, you're not taking damage. If you're not taking damage, you have hope.
And the hope here is that Todak is looking at a huge gold lead, right? 4K, but the map is on their side. It's easier for them to split push, and they force the Valley to basically have this permanent bit of damage, a gaping wound in the bottom lane, and that's all thanks to Rival.
I really like what Todak's doing here, right? They've literally given a run on site to any single member from the side of the Valley. Do not engage, just run away, just be as annoying as possible, and we buy time for Rival to slowly take turrets one by one.
Like I said, don't care about your friends, don't care about your friends right now. Rival's going up against White Chicken, but it's not a 1v1, it's a 1v2.
Yeah.
It looks like White Chicken still got the kill. What?
Yeah, it's just crazy, right? The amount of time that White Chicken was able to buy at the bottom lane, and now it's going to be the Valley. It's a 4v4 at the pit right now. It's going to be a 4v3, mind you. And look at Todak, they're super greedy. They're doing so many things at the right time, but unfortunately, it is going to be Hoon that will be lost. But no! Todak, they stole the Lord!
Where'd the damage come from?
Here's the thing, I don't care. He got it great. So, again, this is what I recommended in the first series. Forget about your friends. Friends are for nerds. Just look for something else all across the map. Objective, the name of the game. What game? Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
So friends and fighting are for nerds.
Exactly.
And forget those things if you want to win, and that's what Todak is doing. They've shrank the gold lead. They have a Luminous Lord marching on their side to the bottom lane. That lane that Rival just permanently put a dent in, that the Valley has to potentially protect all this time. And now look, Purple gonna get stolen here by Rival. Mobazane forced to respond, and suddenly the map is red.
Yeah, it's so crazy how Todak was able to make a bad situation good. They found that small little chink in the armor. They push in every single might. They break through the impenetrable fortress of the Valley, and it's slowly getting shattered. The Luminous Lord was being able to defend by the Valley. Todak right now taking turrets one by one.
That damage? Not cool.
Not cool.
That was quite a lot.
You felt it.
I felt it. We're sitting here. I feel like I have a hole in my blazer.
That's what that was.
That's what it is.
So again, Basic, they're looking for an answer to this Beatrix. And Rival, maybe that's their one choice, right? Rival, Yumski, Formaze has already so much on his plate. He's dealing with White Chicken. I mean, 3 or 4 members of Todak are dealing with White Chicken, and now Rival making a play for top. Can he repeat what he did down bottom? Can he replicate the results?
I mean, looking at this, a concealed play is going to happen, but will they find anyone from Todak? They see Yumski. Will they do anything about it? Formaze is there. Right now, looking at Todak, they're trying to pull the Valley all over the map. Like, hey, come chase me. Hey, come chase me.
Yeah, the Malaysian roamer says, make my day, come on down. But again, that's one big resource that the Valley have wasted, and Todak can take advantage of that.
Yeah, by the way, I know you won't be able to have that, perspective that you can only see what the Valley sees, but based on my estimation, the Valley has no information at all where Todak is. Whereas Todak, because the Valley is moving as a pack, but they will not be able to find Todak.
And I think that's one strength Todak has over them. Once this gold lead shrinks, once the map once again swings either red or blue, Todak can take advantage of that. Rival can make a play, can commit to a certain lane, and again force an inhibitor push, force permanent damage towards the Valley's resources. We're about 50 seconds away from this Lord, and look at how clumped up the Valley is.
Dude, one catch, the Valley just needs one catch, and it's GG game over for Todak. They don't know this, but Hoon and Supershark are so close to Yumski and Chiku, guys.
Yeah, it's just a play of vision right now. Something to take note, very interesting. White Chicken actually swapped to the Rapid Boots. He needs to go around the map from one lane to another very quickly because Todak is just creating so much invisible map pressure all across the board. This is a very beautiful game.
Not just that, I'm guessing the Rapid Boots could also be in efforts to pin people down, right? You have that passive that slows you down once you get hit by the carrier, and in this case, White Chicken. 2-2-3 doesn't tell the whole story. He's been holding down Todak, keeping them where they need to be for the past 18 minutes. And that's what makes this war so perilous, so difficult. Already at about half its health.
Right now, it's going to be amazing. But look at the Valley. They're actually panicking. But no, Mobazane will be able to take down the Lord for now. It's going to be Chicken like Yumski and Formaze on the top right here. They're trying to delay. But look at White Chicken defending against 2. But now it's going to be Todak trying to slow down the defense of the Valley. But now, guys, looking to run away. Mobazane a little bit too far. And look at how separated Todak is.
White Chicken is the base guardian of the Valley. If he died right there, Todak could have won. Just look at this. Rival as well as Momo cannot deal with White Chicken.
No, Rival is in a bit of trouble. He has to run away. White Chicken on the other hand, he's having a lot of joy right there. Momo going in, but look at White Chicken. He's still at max health. Oh, the side has been done on the side of Todak right now. Basic Renaissance doesn't connect, but then Todak has to defend the Lord.
Right now, looking at the Valley, the Lord is there, the minions are there, they're clumping up. Todak, they have not won a team fight. If they gotta win, this is the moment.
This is the moment. The Lord is already turned down one corner right now. It's going to be the Valley trying to look for some play for now. Time of the place already used, and that's a big effort spot. Oh no, it's going to be summoned and swallowed. It's going to be Formaze. Spin right at the Lord. Chicken guys both in with the Ultra will not be able to survive. How will the basic damage coming in from the Valley? It's a little bit too much, but there is no minutes. It's up to this one wave, and Todak just really needs to clear this.
Mortality pop on the Yumski. They're taking care of the minions. Rival doing his best. There's the ult on Momo.
And it's going to be Todak fighting for survival in the lower bracket. The Valley, they're crashing on the door. ladies and gentlemen, the Valley survives!
And through their survival, one must fall. Our heart goes out to the MC's old-timers, the last Malaysian team makes their bow here at M4. GG well played to Todak, but tonight, only one team stands tall in the best of three, and that's the Valley.
We lost to Malaysian teams. I lost a friend. I'm just gonna say this for the record. I already called it. I already said it. No action has been done.
Numbers don't lie.
But good game, well played. The Valley will continue. In M3, they made all the way to make NA the number 3 region in Mobile Legends. And we will get fourth.
Just to put into perspective what the Valley has done here, in the past few years, I remember at least M2 and M3, Todak had at least a 4th or 5th place berth. Right? I think the highest that Todak finished was in 3rd. And tonight, the Valley, this team walking down the aisles, all smiles, they're responsible. It's because of them, the rising stars from the West.
Crazy, ladies and gentlemen, but we will be going over to the analysts very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we need a quick breakdown.
Respect all around between these two teams. The Valley getting the sweep here. I don't know what they ate for breakfast, but breakfast champions, they're Wheaties. But again, what a series, and I really do feel like they just stepped up here.
So many good stuff that we saw from Todak this game. It started really bad for them though. But they found an opening. I think that they were so all in the split push kind of strategy, the Todak Blacker mindset, and you would argue that they could have taken it. However, it was the Valley in the end. And I'm very sorry about my Malaysian friends out there. I guess my friend is Trex now.
We're besties. We are besties.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I do have to say, Todak, like, I think everyone was on the edge of their seats during that rival push. And even from that moment on, they had a lot of control over the map. I mean, the Valley was just able to get the answer, able to get that last Lord, but if they didn't rotate Fried Chicken up to that top lane, it would have been an easy finish.
Great point, because it was looking a little dicey there, right? I mean, Rival was doing that work on that lane, he was pushing that bottom lane there. And there was a moment, I mean, that's really where the pressure started, and you saw, right? Fried Chicken had to react and adjust to that, and he did it perfectly with the joy there. And just things really worked well for him. It felt
Doing crazy dreaming. Soalnya mudah betul kan. Udang ding. Naik naman tong.
I've been waiting for too long.
Ayo tangkas.
Welcome to Mobile Legends! 5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them! All troops deployed! Precision and strength. Faster and faster. Here. Ha. Keep up the rhythm. To be or not to be. First blood. An enemy has been slain. Request backup. One strike, one skill. Ha! Keep up the rhythm. Yeah. To be or not to be. Speed, precision, and strength. Request backup. Have been slain. Request backup. One strike, one skill.
Ito. Ito ba ito? Layla na to.
One strike, one skill. Speed, precision, and strength. Faster and faster. Request backup. Keep up
The enemy
rhythm.
has slain the turtle.
To be or not to be.
Have been slain.
Wala naman kakampi na hindi naman tumulong. Ayan.
Our turret has been destroyed. Our turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
Ay kami yun.
One strike, one skill. Speed, precision, and strength. Faster and faster. To be or not to be.
An ally has been slain.
Speed, precision, and strength. Keep up the rhythm.
Launch attack.
Tawag mo na tuloy yung Hanabi na yan.
An ally has been slain.
Faster and faster.
Kaya mo, patay.
Our turret has been destroyed.